Welcome to the Empowered Podcast with Deanna Merlino, an all-encompassing personal development show where I will be sharing with you just how to transform yourself into the best version of you, both inside and out. From wellness, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and manifestation, I'll be showing you exactly how to live your best life. I will be keeping it as real and raw as it gets. So get ready to peel back the layers and really transform yourself under the surface. Because nothing is better than finding your purpose and living this life as your true, authentic self. You've been hearing me talk about my new spiritual life coaching program. So by now, you know if you are ready to jump into something like this, but now it's time to make it happen. I'm running a special deal, and if you want to hear more, then it's time for you to reach out to me. You can check me out on my page, The Empowered Coach 333, and DM me for more information to get you ready to step into your higher self and your next level today. Welcome back, my empowered fam. Thank you for joining me here today. If you did not listen to last week's episode, I highly recommend you go listen to it. It's about working through your traumas. And again, I'll just trigger warning that because it was pretty intense. But listen to it because it is instrumental in your healing. And today we're going to be talking about some success tips because here's the thing. After I received that message that I shared last week and I worked through some severe traumas of my own, I had an up-leveling, which I knew was going to happen. And that's why it had come in. And I, of course, as things just go for me, intuitively stumbled across next steps for myself and what I needed to be doing. And I have undertaken a huge project and it feels pretty great. But if you know me, you know that when I take on any sort of project, I literally become obsessed. And I take it as obsessed in a good way. But I'm also aware that it is not always the best. And so because I'm working so hard on this project, my brain works as in, Deanna, go, 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 go. Let's do it. Let's get it done. Do not stop. Do not breathe. Do not eat. Do not sleep until it's over. And that is not healthy for anyone. It wasn't until I realized that I was in this cycle again that I was able to make that shift. And so I was working really hard on this project. All I wanted to do was spend every waking moment on it. And then we were supposed to go to our in-laws for the football game. And I literally did not want to go. And not because I didn't want to see them, not because I didn't want to spend time with them, not because I knew I wouldn't enjoy my time, but I was just in this state of being obsessed with wanting to work on this project. And so as I was sitting in my misery and being frustrated that I didn't want to leave the house because I wanted to be a hermit and keep my face dived into my computer typing away, I got a nice download. And essentially what it was that I needed to remember that I still am, it is a necessity to live in the moment. And so I'm sharing this tip with you guys because I think it's so easy for us to become so wrapped up in whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's a project, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a something with work, whether it's a book. Like I do this even when I'm reading books. Maybe it's binging a podcast, which like, hey guys, thanks for doing that. But my point is we have to remember to live in the now moment. It is actually very hard for me to do this, but it's also hard for most people to do this because we're always planning. We're planning for the future. We're thinking about the future. Or if you're not healed, you're living in the past. It is very hard, but a gift and so important to live in the moment and remember to enjoy the little things. That's what we work for. We work to enjoy the things. It's so common for us to work towards this big goal. You're excited for 1 second and then you move on to the next thing. I am guilty of this, but I am now working on being in the moment and enjoying the things. I wouldn't have the new car that I have if I didn't bust my butt in the past. I wouldn't have this house if we hadn't saved up the money to get there. I wouldn't have this podcast if I hadn't have healed myself and found my voice to share. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just making examples, but you have to remember to live in the moment because that's where the gift is. That's where the beauty is. And you can't let the
the now moment pass you up because you're never going to have it again. And it's those little things, the joy in the little things, that are what is so important and so precious. And and these tips are kind of just all over. They just came to me while I was busy working on this project that I'm currently undertaking. This is another tip, is to, one, make lists. And so I am an all over the place type of person. Like, my brain goes 1 billion miles per hour, and it's easy for me to forget some things because I'm so quick to move on to the next one, or I have so many things coming at one time that I just like forget that I need to do that. So make a list. When you take a moment to take everything out of your head and just brain dump it onto a piece of paper, you stop thinking about it so much and you're able to actually do it. And so, not only, actually, I'm going to add an extra tip in here. Just do the thing instead of thinking about it, right? So often we will be thinking about all the things that we have to do, and that is so draining. You're tired just thinking about the things that you had to do. Make a list and then just do it and knock it off one by one. If we spent more time doing than thinking, we would be far more successful, far further along, and feel far less drained by it. I actually remember this exact thing when I first started. Actually, sometimes, I'll be honest, in my network marketing business, I will think about having to do it all the time because I love it. I love sharing it. I love doing it. I love using the products. I love making the money off of it. I love sharing the gift. But I think about doing it, right? I think that I need to make a list of people to reach out to or follow back up on. I think that I need to schedule events to share the products and share the opportunity. I think that I need to schedule coffee dates to go talk to that person who's interested in joining the business and starting their own. Just do it. Stop thinking about it. Just get it done. You're going to save yourself a headache, and you're going to actually have a lot more energy and be far more successful. And again, it will take less time to do so. But back to the tip that I was going to get to next is, for me, because I am a chronic procrastinator, if there's something that I don't want to do, I will literally put off everything, all of it. Like, I'm not going to fold that laundry basket, because if I fold that laundry basket, then I am one step closer to doing the thing that I don't want to do because I have nothing else to make excuses for why I'm not doing them. Does that land with anyone else? Because I do it all the time. So here's the thing that I did and am doing, is do the thing that you least want to do first. Instead of doing all the things you want to do, like, let me treat myself to this and then I'll get to that. You're never going to do it, or it's going to take you forever. I do that all the time. So instead, my new hack is to go ahead and do the thing that I don't want to do first and get it out of the way. So then it incrementally gets more enjoyable on my list to get to the one thing that I really want to do. You know, like, after I do all these things, I'm going to take myself to go get a pedicure. I don't know, like, make a list. So you brain dump, and then just make sure that you do the thing that you don't want to do first, and then just actually go ahead and get it done. This next tip, super random, but came to me when I was reading a book for my son to go to bed after I had worked all day on all the things. And it was an ABC book. And when we got to Q was for quiet time. And it really stuck with me because all the messages and downloads that I keep getting anytime I get readings or anytime I just get a download is that I need to sit in silence far more. I need to do nothing a lot more. I've been doing a lot more nothing, but nothing for me is like sitting down on the couch after I've done my things and playing a game on my phone or watching some Netflix or whatever it may be. That is still not nothing. That is unnecessarily filling myself and activating my nervous system by avoiding doing nothing. Relaxing and nothing are two different things. I have been told time and time again that my gifts are going to pop off and I am going to step into next level when I spend more time in silence. And here's the thing. Every time I meditate, every time I sit in silence is when I get more large downloads that are next level for me, the next level steps, the keys to what I need to be doing. So it was a reminder from my child's ABC bedtime book that Q is for quiet time and I need to spend more time in silence, as do you, because here's the thing, when you sit in silence, you become far more in tune with your intuition. And what does your intuition do? It gives you next steps, and it gives you advice, and it gives you your blueprint. It gives you answers to all the things. So we need to be sitting more in silence. And then the last hack that I'm going to share for you guys that kind of ties into the whole stop thinking about it and just do it thing is, and I think I've talked about this in the podcast before long, long ago, so I'm just going to get back to it, is we need to retrain our brains. So as a chronic procrastinator, I am really bad at saying like, all right, I'm going to go to the gym after I do this. And then you don't go, right? Like you want to go to the gym, but you don't go because your brain is wired to not do stuff because you have been not doing stuff, the things that you say you're going to do for so long that your brain's like, nah, not going to do it. So here's the thing. Start saying, I'm going to do these small things and do this over and over and over and over and over and over again, because when you do something over and over and over and over again, you're rewiring the pattern in your brain. Remember, we talked about this. There's pathways carved into your brain, and you do them over and over again because it's a habit. So to retrain the habit, you have to do something different over and over again. So say to yourself, I am going to take a sip of water, and then take a sip of water. And your brain's like, hey, we actually did what you said you were going to do. Keep doing small things over and over again. This is going to help retrain your brain. And then work your way up to the things that you actually want to do, that you're actually struggling with getting yourself to do, so that, again, it can become a habit and a new pattern. So work your way up to, I am going to do these dishes, and then actually do the dishes. Don't say it to yourself unless you are up and ready to actually do it. Because again, if you don't, you're just reinforcing that negative thought pattern. So like I'll stand up and go, I'm going to load my dishwasher, and then load my dishwasher. And then I'm going to read a book as there's a book in my hands, and then I read my book. Work that. If your goal is to go to the gym or whatever it is, start writing a book, maybe to, start, and whatever it is, plug in what you want to do, start a side business, start an Etsy shop, start meditating, whatever. I'm going to put my gym clothes on, and then I am going to get in my car, and I'm going to say, I'm going to go to the gym, and then I go to the gym. So I hope that made sense of like building up the little baby mini patterns so that you create a new habit. So these are just some tips that popped into my head to share with you guys, because again, I'm learning with you and I'm sharing the nuggets that I get along the way. So after you've listened to this episode, this is a nice short one today, I want you to take some time and write a list and go through each of the tips that I spoke about and make a list for yourself. What are the things that you need? What are the little things that you need to find more joy in? What is a list that you need to make to brain dump all of the things that you're thinking about so that you can write them off? What is something that you need to just do to just get it done? Go sit in quiet time and see what comes up for you guys. Make it a little test. See if you get any downloads. And then retrain your brain by what are some little habits that you can do, like taking a sip of water, turning on the radio, whatever it is, so that you can repattern and reprogram your brain. I hope these little tips help you guys, and know that you can utilize each of them towards bigger success by starting smaller. Little steps add up.
Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to find out more, you can follow me on Instagram at Empowered with Deanna and my personal page, Fit Deanna Lolita. You can also visit me on my website, which is deannamerlinofit.com. Make sure that whatever platform you guys are listening on, please rate and subscribe. And this means so much to me. It's going to help get me out there to help so many other people. I'm so grateful that you're here with me on this journey of wellness and self-empowerment. I cannot promise that it will always be easy, but I do know that it will always be worth it. Stick with me, and together, let's start living as the version of us that we were meant to be, because the world is waiting for your gifts.
and you deserve to live the life of your wildest dreams and beyond. So friends, let's get empowered.